Hey everybody, Kirby fan here, and welcome to this year's Kirby month. I'm super excited for this one, as I said in the intro video, which I will have in the top right if you want to go view it. Hopefully it's still the top right when you're viewing this. Who knows, maybe YouTube will change it so that it's the top left, who knows. But the long and short of what we're doing here is that this Kirby month, instead of kind of having a theme of Kirby, is that clearly I'm not insane enough, so I am covering every Kirby game from my least favorite to my favorite. I went over this in that video, but I'll go over it in this one too. I don't dislike any of these games. I actually like all of them to some extent. This is just the one that I happen to like the least. That game is Kirby's Avalanche. Let's talk about Kirby's Avalanche. To start off Kirby month. So I actually really like Puyo Puyo. Fever is my favorite subset of all the different Puyo Puyo styles. I like Sue a lot. My Puyo videos are pretty much all Fever. That's the one that I like the most, the style. It's just really fun, really frantic. I like it a lot. But Sue's great. Sue's definitely the more competitive of the two. There are some other ones that I like also. Sun is a good time. But I like Puyo Puyo a lot. But one style of Puyo Puyo that I am not a fan of is the style of Puyo 1. I don't like it because there's no counter. It's just you set off a chain and then that's how much garbage is put. There's no, I don't know, I guess there's no strategy to it. It's pretty much just who can build the fastest 5 chain first. You win. Yeah. Whatever. And Kirby's Avalanche is based off of Puyo 1, and that is pretty much what my big issue is. I don't like the style of Puyo 1. I think it works a little better in the favor of a game like Avalanche or Mean Bean, just because technically there's no sequels that kind of improved everything. Going back to Puyo 1 is a little rough, but at least Avalanche and Mean Bean have some things that could separate them. Not so much in the gameplay. As far as the gameplay goes, tolerate, it's fine. It's still Puyo to an extent. And, I mean, if you're playing Mean Bean or Avalanche, you're really not playing the multiplayer. You're going to be playing the single player. And that's because if you want to play the multiplayer, you got Puyo 2 to play, Puyo Sun, Puyo Fever, Puyo 15th, Puyo 20th, stuff like that. And as far as the single player goes, yeah, I think Kirby's Avalanche is actually really good. Well, I say really good. I think it's fine. So here's the thing. I think the gameplay portion of it is fine. That's what I'm talking about. But what's really good... what kind of saves Kirby's Avalanche for me? Kirby's Avalanche actually would kind of be the game that I don't like in the series. There are a couple things that I really like, but just to get my favorite thing out of the way, the dialogue in this game is so funny. I'll have stuff playing in the background so you can just get a glimpse of what they thought Kirby's character should be, what they thought Krako's character, Waddle Doo, Squishy, Wispy Woods, Heavy Mole, the narrator is so weird. There's Heavy Mole, Krako, Squishy, Lolo, and La La La, Waddle Doo, Waddle Dee, Poppy Brothers Senior. The fact that I know these kind of goes to show that I do like Kirby's Avalanche. It's okay. So there's definitely that. I love that a lot. But on a less silly note, I think visually the game's actually really good. It's based off of Puyo Puyo, which I thought visually was a pretty good looking game. But if I had to pick between that and the Kirby, I'd pick Kirby. I really like the way that the characters look in this game. I think some of them have a look that is very much, you could tell it's Kirby's Avalanche just by looking at it. I like that it has Mennonite and then Day-to-Day at the end. I don't know why. That's just something that I always like, where pretty much the last thing that gets between you and Day-to-Day is Mennonite. That's not something you see very often, but anytime a game has that, it's a plus for me. Also, this game, English-speaking places, how do they say his name? King Day-to-Day. It's really bad that I know exactly how they say it in Kirby's Avalanche. That's so bad. I mean, the actual gameplay itself, it's Puyo. Pop 4 of these blobs of the same color and they pop. Make big chains. That's the idea, but you make 5. It doesn't have to be big. You just make a 5 and you win. I don't like it. But for a single-player game, it's fine. It's doable. It's livable. But that's my big thing. That's the thing you're going to notice about a lot of the games that I have really down low. I like them well enough, but there are just other games that are pretty much exactly like this that I think are a lot better. And in this case, it is Puyo 2, Puyo Sun, Puyo 15, Puyo Mini, Puyo Max, and of course, especially Fever. Fever 2, Fever in 15th and 20th, and Champions. They bought it back for Champions. They took it out of Tetris and then they bought Fever back for Champions. I pop off for that stuff. And the music in Avalanche I think is really good too. That's definitely, of course, get ready to hear this all throughout the Kirby month extravaganza. Music in the Kirby games, always good. I think it's good for Kirby's Avalanche. I actually would take the tracks in Kirby's Avalanche for the most part over a lot of the Puyo tracks. And for the record, I would also take them over most of the Mean Bean Machine tracks. I like the energy. I don't know. I like the... It's kind of tame, but it's also energetic, and I think that's a cool mix. I think my big issue is it's Puyo 1. This isn't really, by design, that good of a game. And when you have a lot of things about the game that work, but the gameplay just really doesn't match up to any kind of expectation, the game kind of suffers, and it's why I put Kirby's Avalanche at the bottom. I still think it's an okay game. I'm not going to go tell you not to play it. In fact, I'd play this before I'd play either Puyo 1 or Mean Bean, but I'd pretty much play any other Puyo game before I'd come back to this one. But it's got that Kirby charm to it. Again, really funny dialogue. Really, I have to mention Mennonite. That one's got to be the funniest one. He says oops or uh-oh or something like that. Something really stupid. That's what I think about Kirby's Avalanche. Thanks so much for listening. There is plenty of Kirby to come. Until then, I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoy Kirby Month. And until I see you in another video, I've been Kirby Fan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.